Wonderful. Hi, everyone. I'm back. If you were with us before and we dropped, my apologies. What can I say? So anyway, I am back, and we're going to be doing part 2 today of the SEO analysis for the Toronto dentist that we were working with. I've got some music in the background. It's the lo-fi hip-hop beats station. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I hope you can, because these streams, sometimes I get a little quiet because there's nothing to say until we've parsed through the data. So anyway, I'm streaming this onto YouTube and onto my Facebook page as well. And if you are interested in dropping some comments, feel free to come over to my Facebook page. It is Sophie Edwards, Sophie with an umlaut over the O, because why not? And I am, yeah, you can ask any questions you like. Happy to help. Anyway, so we are, mute that because I was hearing an echo. Anyway, so in the last analysis, we found that the top 3 competitors for our client are these guys right here. And this shows where they show up on Google. It's pretty good. Everyone's doing pretty good. But there's definitely some room for improvement, especially for our client here, which is the only one we really care about improving. So let's see what we can do for them. I apologize about the sunglasses, by the way. I know it's a little corny. I'm not just trying to seem super cool. I've actually got, I don't know, I got a bit of a headache today, and turning the lights down low helps, but today I can't turn the lights down low because I'm streaming, and I would look like a ghoul while I was doing it. So instead, I just put on some sunglasses, and they seem to be helping, so if you got a problem with it, stop watching me. Anyway, so we're going to start with the technical analysis. Technical SEO is mostly it's the nerdy details is an easy way of saying it. It's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that really boils down to providing a high quality experience to the users coming to your website. It's a pretty big chunk of Google's of how they consider who to rank. So we're going to start with a tool called Screaming Frog. Come on back up. There we go. It's a weird tool, I know, or a weird name, I know rather, but it's a great tool. It's a great tool from the perspective of digging into your technicals and some of your on-site stuff as well, and some of your off-site. In fact, it's just a great tool in general. There is a paid version and a free version. We have the paid version on another computer, but I use the free one on this computer. Partially because for the purposes of this analysis, it's all we need. And partially because, as I mentioned, I want to use free tools as much as possible. The main limitation of the free versus paid version is this right here. Free version is limited to crawling 500 URLs at a time. But we don't need to know exactly how many pages are on different sites. We just need to know a rough estimate. And if we have more than 500, what we know is that the competition is pretty heavy. So we start off just by saying how many pages have been indexed. Now, having been indexed is not the same as a page that exists. If you have a website, let's say it's built on WordPress, because lots of people have websites built on WordPress. There are some pages on your website that you don't necessarily want to have indexed. And indexing means Google knows it exists, and they will have it in their search database somewhere. Might be on page 7,000, but it'll be in there somewhere. There's a lot of pages that don't need to be indexed. For example, your WordPress login page, if you type in your url.com/wp-admin, that's how you log into your WordPress website, unless you've changed it, of course. And that is a page that does not need to be indexed. As well as if you have a thank you page, If you have like an email marketing opt-in, someone opts in and you takes them to a thank you page, that doesn't need to be indexed. There are like yeah, there's other examples. We'll go through more of them later, but the point is we want to see how many pages have been indexed. So we want to sort them by indexability. So let's scroll down. It's a lot of pages so far. Okay, so we've got 344 pages indexed. Okay, and actually, if you see non-indexable, his WordPress login page is non-indexable, so that's cool. Good for our client here. So 344 pages. Okay, so let's take a look and see if we can find any pages that are indexed that should not be. It's got a bunch of 301 redirects here, which obviously are not indexed. So what we're looking for is, as I mentioned, the WordPress login page, but also the pages for tags that you can put on content. Those are generally not, you don't generally need to index those. Likewise with author pages. So there's one. Speaking of which, you know what? I'm going to sort these by name because that'll make my life a little easier. So let's go back up to the top. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages so far that don't need to be indexed. Okay, so categories, those are all fine. Yeah, there's a lot of pages on his site. For the most part, he's pretty good. Yeah, it looks like eight pages that don't need to be indexed. So total quality pages is just pages indexed minus pages indexed that shouldn't be. So now in order to get the total quality pages, as I mentioned, there's a limit there. However, we have another tool that we use to get around that limitation. So we're going to go to broken link check. Broken link check or checker. I forget. Is this the right one? It looks like the right one. Anyway, so what this does is it scans your website for broken links. Shocking, it's called broken link check. So why should we care about broken links? Because I'll fill in this caption and then I will tell you. Broken links are links that go to nowhere. Users generally find them frustrating, and so Google likes to serve up websites that have as few broken links as possible, ideally 0. So we're going to consider that, but then it's also going to tell us how many actual pages we have here. So I'm going to let this scan. It's going to be a while because it's not going terribly quickly, and we've got at least 344 pages to go through. So we'll come back to that in a moment. Now CMS, that is an acronym that says it means Content Management System. Oops, I think it's .org. Excuse me. CMS stands for Content Management System. Most websites have one, unless you hand code it. And it's generally speaking a good. It's a good thing to have a good CMS. Shocking. There are different types of CMSs. Some of them are good, some of them are not. WordPress is one of the better CMSs from an SEO perspective. However, WordPress is, I believe, version 5.1.4 is the latest one. Let's see. 5.4.2, okay. So it's still one version behind. Which, I mean, that's not ideal, but the whole purpose of what we're doing here is we're trying to figure out whether someone is doing high-end SEO or not. And sometimes people just don't update right away. They should, but they don't always. So I'm not necessarily going to hold that as a tick against him, but it is a weakness. Now this one, Porcelain Veneers, has WordPress version 4.2.28. That's not good. That is very not good. So I'm going to make a note. Why do we care about WordPress updates? There's lots of different reasons. A big one is security. When WordPress updates itself, it will patch security holes that are known. So you want your website to be secure, don't you? You don't want to be hacked, do you? Keeping your WordPress up to date is a great way to do that. It also serves up content in newer ways, often. It can speed up your load time. There's all sorts of benefits. Each WordPress update is different, so I can't really say in an umbrella fashion that it's what each one of them does. All I can say is it's a good thing. Okay. Well, Dental WordPress version 5.2.1. Okay. 5.2.1. Okay. That's oops, 2.1. That's outdated. So far, I'm going to give you and you a bad mark, and you a good mark. Is that the right color green? That's the right color green. There we go. Again, we're not totally updated, but it's close enough. SSL certificate. That is an easy one to check for. Just need to go to the website, and then you see that lock there. That means there is that means it has an SSL certificate. SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, and it's absolutely necessary if you're on a website that accepts credit cards. This one, oh look, this one is not secure. Porcelain Veneers is not secure. Yeah, it's absolutely necessary on websites that have that process credit cards. But even if you don't, it's a good idea to have an SSL certificate on there because Google considers it as a ranking factor. They like websites that are secure, and so does the rest of the web. So it looks like everyone is secure. I would just like to let them load more fully before I confirm. Cool. So Porcelain Veneers has no SSL. Rest of them do. I'll fill in the colors later. Okay, so GT Metrics. This is a cool tool. It's free. Porcelain Veneers. Did I check them as not having one? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. Yeah, GT Metrics is another cool tool. It's free, and you can get some great details on your site's loading speed, how fast it loads, and if it doesn't load very fast, why. So we're going to let this load for a moment for 22 seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to drink water. And wait another 17 seconds. There's other stuff we could be doing in the meantime. Accelerated mobile pages. That's an easy, quick one we can test for while this is loading. AMP is the short version, and it is a, you've probably seen these before. If you Google something just with your phone, and it loads lightning fast, like just immediately, then that page has AMP on it. And it's commonly found on news websites, but we implement them on our clients' websites as well. Some SEOs don't like it because it is finicky. It's a pain in the butt to do. However, we've noticed that with our clients, the websites that we implement AMP on, they have higher mobile traffic. So we're a big fan of AMP. In the meantime, let's let that finish analyzing because it does take a moment. And come back here and we can see that this site is taking 9.4 seconds to fully load. That's a long time. There's another tool I use, and it's one of Google's tools itself, actually. Google Page Speed Test. That's what I'm looking for. I think. I hope. Maybe. Let's see. So this tests the same way, or a similar way anyway. So what I do is I take this number and then this number, and then I just average the two of them out. So let's see how this goes. And in the meantime, we'll take a look. So, okay, so Art of Dentistry is not an AMP page. So we'll say no. And in the meantime, we're going to run another one. When I do these, I bounce around a lot because you can see some of these pages, some of these sites, some of these tools take a while to load. Largest content full paint, 12.5 seconds. Time to interactive, 21.4 seconds. Wow. Okay, so we'll take 12.5 seconds. 9.4 plus 12.5. 10.5. 10.5 seconds. That's real bad. Why do we care about page load time? It is, you've basically got about 10 seconds to tell someone who you are, what you do, and why they should care with your website. And that timer starts as soon as you click on their link for the first time. So if you've got 10 seconds to impress that upon someone, and it's taking 9.5 seconds to load, or 10.5 seconds to load, you're going to be losing a lot of people coming to your site. So there's some major issues there. That's going to increase your bounce rate. So Google considers your load time on its own, in its own right, but it also considers your bounce rate. So if I come to your website and I hightail it out of there right away, that's considered a bounce. And if I bounce, then what I'm telling Google is I came to this site, I saw nothing of value, and I left right away. And there's some reasons why people bounce that you're not, you can't do anything about it. Like if, for example, you just type in the wrong URL. That happens. You're going to bounce after you do that. And there's nothing I can do about that as from an SEO perspective to change that because that's just an error on your part. However, there are some reasons that are your fault, including having a long page load time. So let's take a look at why the site is taking so long to load. We've got some improvement on images that can be done here. It's not a huge amount, but it is something. Code is more or less minified. It's close enough. It's not. Yeah, that's good. But we'll put 25.6 kilobyte improvement possible. There's two different ways to optimize your images. If you're doing the right Either way, search scaled images. Yes, he is. Okay, great. Um, how many HTTP requests? We've got 44 of them. That could be a contributing factor. So when I'm doing these analyses, I am doing it from the perspective of looking at each of these websites the same way. And so this is why I don't get access to the website backend, because I'm not going to be able to get access to the backend for porcelain veneers, dental implants, or Pearl Dental Group. And so if I want to look at all of them and treat them the same, I can't get access to Art of Dentistry. So that being said, um, when I'm looking at the page load speed, there are some reasons why it's loading slowly that I can see. Some I cannot. Some of them have to do with like server side errors, and I just can't see those. So it's going, sometimes it's a little unsatisfactory to get to this part and find out, I don't exactly know why your website is taking too long to load. However, um, this might be the smoking gun, is the external requests. And what are external requests? That's anything that's loading on your website from a URL other than your URL. So in this case, it's anything that loads on the site, Art of Dentistry, that's not loading from the URL Art of Dentistry. So an example of that would be an Instagram feed. Let's say you have an Instagram account, you are pretty active on it, and you want to include your feed on your website. That is, from an SEO perspective, not a good idea, because that means a browser it needs to load everything from your Instagram. You can just add a few pictures here and there. However, when a browser is loading, so if I'm using my browser, I'm opening up Firefox and I'm coming to something.com. What I'm going to do is what my browser does is it loads everything from something.com, and then everything from Instagram.com, and everything from WordPress.com, and all these other external URLs. And that it does them one at a time, so it can slow things, it can slow things down. And the more things you have loading, oh boy, I'm burping so much. The more things you have loading in it from a single URL as you can, the faster your website loads in general. Now, external requests are not a bad thing per se. An example of an external request is Google Analytics, and you absolutely want to have Google Analytics on your website. So it's not that having external requests is bad. Every website has external requests, except for things that are just bare bones HTML. Like the example, literally something.com. It's my favorite website. I've known about it since I was a teenager. And all it is, I hope it loads. Is it not there anymore? Oh, this is going to be heartbreaking if it's not there anymore. Oh no, it's gone. Anyway, all it said was something. And that's it. There were no other pages on the site. There was nothing else. It just said something. That page probably has no external requests. However, it's not going to rank very highly from an SEO perspective. So there's that. So that could be the smoking gun for them. Let's come back to our, oh, for God's sake. These captchas, they're the worst. Whoever invented them is the worst. Okay, so let's scan porcelain veneers. Okay, and while we're waiting for those to load, what else can we do? Let's run this tool here. So this is a cool tool. I mean, all these tools are cool to me. Every one of these I've opened, I think I said, this is a cool tool. But whatever. Anyway, I like it. Deal with it. Um, so this is a SEO site checkup, and it checks a whole bunch of stuff. Um, so that's great to get stuff. I feel like I ramble on these streams sometimes, but that's okay. Anyway, um, so we want to check to see if they have schema, first of all. Schema is a coding initiative put forth by Google, and it helps to um, it helps you read sites. It helps Google read sites better and better understand what the site is about. Um, so it's a good idea to have it on your site. Google has literally said, put this on your site and we will rank you higher. So they do have structured data. So that is a yes. Yes, but because just because you have schema doesn't mean you've done it properly. There are Google schema tool. There are ways to scan your structured data to see what you have going on the site. So many WordPress themes will come with schema pre-built into it, but the way schema works is you wrap code around, first of all, individual pages, but then also your website as a whole, but then also individual elements on your pages. And when a website comes with schema, it usually only comes with the site-wide stuff. So this I'm seeing here. Yes, I know it's being shut down. I'm seeing this here. It's there's not a lot of structured data on this site. Yeah, so there's definitely room for improvement. So I would put yes. I put rudimentary. So we'll come back to this and we want to see, oh, okay, here's actually a tool, is custom 404 error page. He does not have a custom 404 error page. Now we want to confirm that. And what's a 404 error? I'll show you, we'll create one right now. artofdentistry.com/wow. That is obviously not a real page on his site. It actually, okay. Is it just taking us to the blog? That's not bad. Okay, so here's what happens. So you can go to, do you remember when I opened up something.com? Come on, hands work properly. There, okay, so you remember, you don't need to remember because I'm opening it now. Something.com gave us a 404 error. Because the page doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. It's gone. RIP. Rest in peace. I'll show you another example. Media.com/. This is my business's website. And I know we have a custom 404 error page on there. So what we saw a moment ago is an example of an error. However, pardon me, if we create a custom 404 error page, yeah, it's a drag that you went to a page that doesn't exist. However, you still have some options, right? You can click on some different things. You can go places. And you haven't necessarily lost that user. They might have typed something incorrectly, but then they can at least click elsewhere and still navigate around and still get in touch with you and still contact you if they like. So, by the way, you may have noticed that we don't have an SSL certificate. Do as I say, not as I do. We don't do SEO on our own website. We're too busy doing SEO on everyone else's website. Anyway, so it looks like what they've done here is if you make a typo, it just takes you to the blog feed, which is not bad. But I'm just not sure how Google's going to read that. Are they going to read it as missing a 404 page, or are they going to read it as like a 301 redirect? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Um, I'll put no. Okay. So we'll come back to we want to look for robots.txt. So he is using the disallow directive. Excuse me. So the disallow directive, having no index in your robots.txt, that's one way to block Google's search crawl bots from crawling your website. However, it's not the best way to do it. So it's a good idea to not make use of that. And they have made use of that. So that is unfortunate from their perspective. And we do have a robots.txt, obviously. XML site. Okay, cool. We do have XML sitemap. That's great. XML sitemap and robots.txt, those are just documents that search engines use. Humans don't usually read them unless you're someone like me. And it's they've been around since the 90s, so it's very weird for me to find a website that doesn't have these. So favicon is this little guy right here. Now a favicon, do you see that little heartbeat looking thing up there? That's a favicon. And it's just a little kind of like icing on the cake sort of thing. And it's not a huge ranking factor, but frankly, A, it's easy for me to check, and B, it's kind of like a sign that whoever is doing their SEO is detail oriented and is not missing little things. Google Analytics, they do have it. Broken links on site. Have we finished our broken link scanner yet? 455 pages, wow. And 0 broken links. That is good. That is good. 0. And we didn't get any 404 errors either. Okay, so we'll come back here to 455 minus 8 would be 447. Not great at math. Okay, so we've done a lot of the technical analysis for Art of Dentistry. In fact, we've done all of it. Let's take a look at, actually, you know what? We're going to be using Screaming Frog, and I don't want to do another search, so I'm just gonna plow through the rest of this. So on-site SEO, a lot of it has to do with keywords and content. So I start with what I call my 2-second test. And with this 2-second test, we're going to do this together, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the website. I'm going to get it fully loaded and let it load in the background. And then with my 2-second test, what I'm doing is I want to find out 3 things. And I want to find them out within 2 seconds. This is my benchmark for whether a website has a high quality design or not. Am I going to be hooked enough that I want to stick around here? So within 2 seconds, we want to find out who they are, what they do, and why I should care. Okay, so let's do it. Okay. That's tough. This one's tough because it's hard to see. Like I can barely read that. It's a light text against a light background, so it's really hard to see. I see like this is a dental clinic in general, but I don't get the message that I know this doctor is trying to put across. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no to this one. Let's do porcelain veneers. Okay, this one's better. Have the perfect smile with Toronto's dentist, Dr. Ed Phillips. Bam, right to the point. I'm going to say yes. I realize this is subjective. Your opinion may vary. That's fair. That's a fast loading site. I'm going to say yes as well. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Pearl. So Pearl. Yeah, this one's no good. This one's no good. Um, why am I looking at these people? Why do I care about these people? Who are they? It just looks like a stock photo that you'd find in a picture frame that you got from Walmart. Okay, so Pearl Dental Group. So I know, broadly speaking, this is a dentist office, but I don't know why I should care. I don't understand. I understand who they are and I understand what they do, but I don't know why I should care. There's no text. There's just these stock photos. And there's a slider as well, which is super obnoxious. I see there is text below the fold, which is not a good look. Um, so maybe if it were something like that, it would be okay, or at least better. Um, but this, I don't know why I should care. Tell me why I should care, or don't, because I don't care anymore. Okay, so let's take a look at domain age. Your domain age is just how old your website is. Um, it's not how old your website is. Let me correct myself. It's how old your URL is. Um, and the older your URL is, the better. Broadly speaking, Google will take a look at your website and they, what the hell happened there? Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Google considers that if your website has been around your domain has been around for a while, um, you're clearly doing something right because you've managed to last in the industry for a while. And in fact, we can see here, Art of Dentistry has been in business for almost 25 years. So we're definitely the strongest here. 2401, L is real. Okay, so porcelain veneers, it's 5 years, 8 months. Dental implants is 4 years, 3 months. Pearl Dental is 2 years, 9 months. We'll round up. 2 years, 9 months. There's nothing you can do about your domain age. Like, you can't go back in time and register your domain earlier. You could buy a new domain if you wanted to, but then you would lose all of the SEO that you built up on your current domain, which, if you haven't done any SEO, might be worthwhile. I don't know. In this case, our guy, Dr. Weiss, is significantly ahead of the rest of the crowd. So let's let's continue. So we're going to come back to Screaming Frog and take a look at our metadata. So there's three different factors that we're looking at. There is our title tags, our meta description, and our H1, H2 tags, which are further down. So we'll start with our title tags. So I'll show you what a title tag is. You see this up here where it says domain age checker, check domain of any website by this tool. That is your title tag. Okay. So if we hit Google and go to just search in the search bar, I don't know, bananas. I guess I'm hungry. This is your meta description. And then if we go to the website, this is probably an H1 tag. Get out of here. And this is probably an H2 tag. And these are probably H3 tags. They're titles, right? And these are all great spots to put keywords. So what we want to do is we want to see what each of these pages is, and what the title tags are. They're a great spot to put keywords, and there's not a whole lot of information we need to put in there. We'll scroll down. The most important pages are going to be the services pages. Here we go, because he's got a lot of pages. And yeah, so toothbridge, dental crowns, dental implants, all in for dental implants. Yeah, so they're pretty good from a title tag perspective. From a meta description perspective, let's take a look. You missed one, but that's okay. Is this unindexed? No, it's indexed. I guess you just missed one. It happens. Yeah, these are pretty good for the most part. I mean, what we're looking for is things that generally look like keywords. I'm not going to compare it to the list. It's just not really necessary for the purpose of this analysis. But we do see things like cosmetic dentists, dental implants, root planing is probably a keyword. Cosmetic dentist again, toothbridges, dental implants. Yeah, so we're doing pretty well here. I'll give them a 90% on the title tags. Now, there's one thing I like to check with the meta descriptions, and that's to make sure. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. So duplicate content. Yeah, there's a lot of duplicate content from the meta description perspective. Wow, there's a lot of duplicate content. Holy poo. Okay. So why do we care about duplicate content? Do you remember before we talked about how back in the technical part that the more pages you have indexed, the better? The more pages you have indexed, the better. That this is true. And when webmasters first started finding out about this, they would they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you want more pages on my website? Well, let me just make 800 copies of this one page," and then all of a sudden they have an enormous website and they shoot to the top. However, obviously not what Google was looking for, and so they started to punish websites with duplicate content. So I'm going to give them a minus 100%. What does that mean? It means I believe they would be better off had they left their meta descriptions blank, as opposed to just putting duplicates all over the place. It's not good. It's not good. All right, so really suffering there. Let's see if the titles are any better. So we want to come back here and we want to sort by name so we can get down to the services pages, Those are the real important ones. Yeah, these are pretty good. I would write them more as long tail keywords, like denture. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Dental crown procedure and replacement services in Toronto, or something like that. I would take a look at the keywords that I have for dental crowns, and I would try to create myself a longer tail keyword to try and cram some more keywords in there. That's not bad, but it's not great. We'll come back, we'll come to our H2 titles. Not great. Yeah, they could do more from a keyword perspective. So I'm gonna give them a 40 in this regard. Okay, average words per page for legit pages. So let's come back to the beginning here. So pages, how many words per page? This is key. Google likes websites with more content. And more content means more pages. It means more pages, but it also means more word count. So we want to, I generally like to aim for a minimum of 800 words per page. It's a pretty good balance between, pardon me, what can hold a user's attention, and frankly, what my clients' budgets are. Yeah, he's falling short of that, 776. Yeah, it always depends, because like if you have if your competitors only have 300 words per page, then we're doing great. But we'll of course have to see how they're doing from that perspective. Uncategorized blog articles. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is sloppy. Okay, no uncategorized blog articles. Good. Oh, I need a new chair. Okay. And then last thing we're going to look at from Screaming Frog for this client is average number of links per page. So again, I want to consider only kind of the biggest linked pages. There will naturally be pages on your website that you don't build many links to. You don't build links to your contact page. You don't build links to your WordPress login page. You don't build links to page 8 on your blog roll. You just don't. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. Though apparently in this case they did build links to their contact page. So I'm not just looking for links, period, to all the pages. I'm looking at links to the relevant pages. It's pretty clear. Like all the service pages are up here, and it's 344 links per page precisely. You might think that's weird, and I get it. Link scanners are notoriously unreliable. I don't take them as gospel, but I do take them as a kind of ballpark. It's so difficult to scan the entire internet for links. It's just not realistic. I don't know if there will ever be a link scanning tool that's 100% reliable. So anyway, I use them as a benchmark. Okay, so we're done with Screaming Frog for Art of Dentistry. So I'm going to start loading. No, I don't want that. Load porcelain veneers, and in the meantime, Let's take a look at whether or not our friends are mobile friendly. We'll come back to some of these as well. So porcelain veneers is not an AMP page. Implants. Oh, that was fast. Okay. Did that even load? I looked away for a moment. Oh, it didn't load. Fair. Okay. Is that a flavor? I wonder how many millions of hours have been wasted by humans sitting in front of a computer having to fill out captchas. Um, okay. Where, what are we looking at? So let's just get the AMP out of the way. Wait for that to continue loading. I sometimes get a little scatterbrained when I'm doing these because I end up jumping around so much and waiting for these tools to load. Client. I'm calling the competition clients. Great if they all worked with me. Okay. Okay, so porcelain veneers is not. Well, we know if it's not an AMP page. I checked this one, didn't I? Alright. Completed one web page? Come on. Alright. Um, let's just get to the technical analysis of porcelain veneers. We've got some issues with some of the tools, which happens sometimes. So we'll come back to them. Number of pages indexed is 167. Pages indexed that should not be. Oh, he's got a 404 error. So we'll mark that down. Pages indexed that should not be. Let's take a look. There's one. Pardon me, everybody. My phone's ringing. I'll be right back. It's the wrong one. It was a spammer. It was a spammer. If you live in Canada, you've probably gotten this spam CRA calls. Ah, I just got one myself. Lucky me. If I wasn't on my live stream right now, I would. Sometimes I just go forward and actually talk to them, and I try to keep them on the phone as long as I can, because the longer they're talking to me, the less time they have to go scam some poor innocent old person who doesn't, maybe isn't wise to the ways of the world. Okay, so we've got one page that doesn't need to be there. Now, is it? Yeah, porcelain veneers. Let's try this again. Let's see. Sometimes it has difficulty processing all the pages on a site. Okay. Yeah, so that is indicative of a bigger issue. So we'll put 166. Broken links on site. We'll put NA and then put issue on this site. Okay. So yeah. Sometimes when my tools don't work, it's because they don't work. Other times when my tools don't work, it's because they are they're scanning the site in a similar way to how Google would. And if they're having trouble reading the site, it likely means Google is having trouble reading it as well. So yeah, not good, not good. Let's see what else we can do here. So we get this one back. Okay, so largest contentful paint is 13.9 seconds plus 10.8. 11 and a half. No. 12. 12 seconds. Okay, why is this website taking so long to load? Images seem like they're more or less optimized. Yeah, images are good. 43 plus 37. 80. 80 external requests. Wow. That's a lot of external requests. Is code minified? No. Oh, and we've got four errors that we found. Wow, okay, this does not bode well for this competitor already. This guy's outranking our clients in a couple of ways. Right, code minified is what I was looking at. Say no. Okay, so he's struggling. Let's do a scan for dental implants clinic. We'll come back here and we'll go back to our SEO site checkup tool. Okay, so let's go grab the link to porcelain veneers and see where else they're lacking. In the meantime, we'll, that shouldn't even be eyeballs, that should be, that should be eyeballs. So let's check. Do they have a custom 404 page? We're done with this guy, I think. Porcelainveneers.ca slash. Do you think I'm the first person to ever type those letters in that particular order? I don't know. Anyway, he does have a custom 404 page. This font is awful, though. Come on. What a pain in the butt to read that. Yes. 404 errors, though. So we're going to take a look. Yes. Hey, I'm streaming. Hey. Yeah, I'm on a live stream right now. Oh, yes. Okay. Hello. Bye. My mama just coming to say hello. I've been staying with her through the pandemic. She lives by herself, and I don't want to leave her alone. So instead, I'll stay with her for now. What was I doing? Right. Schema. Let's take a look. It is this. However, is it rudimentary schema or is it more advanced schema? I would be very surprised if it was advanced schema. Yep, same deal. You see, it's just a site-wide schema. There's not a lot of, yeah, yeah, rudimentary. More so than yours. Okay. Robots. Okay, so it does disallow, which we shouldn't be doing. The fact that it is disallowing means it exists, so I'm not going to have to bother with that. XML sitemap found. Yes. And Google Analytics and Favicon. Okay, so yes, yes, yes. Cool. So we've completed the first two in the technicals. Let's go forward and take a look at Porcelain Veneers' metadata. This is my least favorite part of this because it's a lot more tedious, I find. Okay. Not terrible. Dental Bridges Toronto, Dental Crowns Toronto, Dental Implants Toronto, Best Porcelain Veneers, Dental Implants, and Dental Treatments. Okay, these are quite good. These are quite good. I'm going to give him a 90 as well. But I bet his meta descriptions aren't so good. First of all, half of them are missing. 2/3 of them are missing. And there are some duplicates. I'm going to give him a 10%. Yeah, not as heinous as art or dentistry, but still pretty piss poor. Am I allowed to say that on the internet? Oh no, YouTube will demonetize me. Oh my god. Anyway, so we want to sort by the profile pages again. Take a look at the procedures. I guess that's how I was positioning them as opposed to services or solutions is calling them procedures. Okay, that's what you want. Yeah, these aren't bad. These aren't bad. They're not bad at all. H1 tags are at least. There are no H2 tags. Oh, there's a couple of H2 tags. I'll give him a 60 there. Okay, so he's better. He's better than Dr. Weiss, but he's still not great. All right, average word length. Uh-oh, did I just see uncategorized? I did. Does he have any pages? Blog articles under the uncategorized. Let's see. Okay, so he does have uncategorized blog articles. Am I blind? There it is. Yes, it does. Average words per page. Pages. Looking at. They have a Russian accent. I do not know why. Okay. Okay, so time to average that out. 586. Woo-wee. That's not good. Come on. The last thing we want from Screaming Frog is the average links per page. And we want that from the more important pages. So why do people build links to their contact page? I don't. Yeah, it looks like 172. Okay. So that's that for porcelain veneers for Screaming Frog. So let's start taking a look at Dental Implants Clinic. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on, hands work properly. Let's finish up our mobile friendly searches. Dental Implants Clinic. Oh my gosh. Google, you're killing me. You're killing me here. It's okay. I'll have to go sometime. Okay, so this is testing not just if your website is mobile responsive. Almost every website these days is mobile responsive, and it's not as important as it used to. It's important. Let me qualify. It's as important as it has ever been to have a website that's mobile friendly. However, just having it be mobile friendly is no longer enough um, to make you stick out from the pack. So that's why I run this test. And what it does is it tests not only if a website is mobile friendly, but also how mobile friendly it is. What is the user experience like? Um, and that's pretty important because Google is now considering the mobile version of your page to be the most important part of your page. So for example, did you notice when I was using the Page Speed Insights tool, it defaulted to testing the mobile version of the site? That's because the mobile version is now more important than your desktop version. Um, so big deal if you don't have a mobile friendly website. Google won't rank websites that are not mobile friendly in mobile search unless they have no other options. Um, and so the search volume is about 50-50, mobile versus desktop. So if you don't have, if your website isn't mobile responsive, you're missing out on about half of the traffic you could be getting. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I could definitely stand to double the amount of leads coming to my business. And, if you don't have a mobile responsive website and you're thinking that that's maybe you could stand to get some more clients, that's an easy way to do it. Easy, I say easy, relatively easy. If your website is not mobile responsive, you probably have to redo the whole thing, which is okay. Sometimes we have to rebuild our websites. Sometimes our websites were built in 1997 on GeoCities and we haven't updated them since then. So maybe you have to update your website. Part of life. Part of life. So there we go. I guess we don't have to sit here and wait. We can run some other tools in the meantime. We'll run the broken link checker. This one can take the longest. It's a bit of a marathon for me. Usually, before I started streaming these, I would do these in kind of like 2 or 3 parts because it just takes so long. And it can be a little overwhelming, but that's okay. Dental Implants Clinic is not an page. Okay. The mobile friendly test is looking for. Okay, so and there is one last one for us to test, and then we can be done with this accursed thing. And hopefully I'll be done with all the tools that make me use a CAPTCHA soon. I hope. Right. Okay, so implants clinic. Yeah. Let's take a look at them through Metrics. Oh, we already scanned them. Okay. Yeah, we did. Okay. Largest content will paint 9.1 seconds plus 5.8. I can't do that math in my head. 7.5 seconds. The best one so far, sadly. Okay, image is properly scaled. Why is this website faster than the others? No, it's not properly scaled. Looks like it's just one that they missed. Yeah, no. Let's say 73 kilobyte improvement possible. Okay, external requests. External requests. What are we looking at there? Oh no, wait. That can't be right. I've actually never seen that before. It could be that it's just determined that all the external requests are relevant. I don't know. I'll just say NA. I'll say there was an issue with the scanner, which, again, I've never seen that before, so that's weird. Okay. There are two requests that are in 404 not found. Okay. It's down here. So two 404 errors. Are we done there? Code minified, right? Minification. Yeah, more or less. Yeah. A few bites here and there, but whatever. Not a big deal. Okay, pages indexed on this spicy boy. Are we looking at dental implants here? Pages indexed. We've got 62. And we got here 78. Okay. So let's say 78. Pages indexed that should not be. Let's see. Privacy policy does not need to be indexed. You're just thinking about pages that no one would ever come to your site through that page. It's not necessarily that it wouldn't be interesting for someone to read once they actually get to your site, but it's not how they're getting there. Yeah, I'll just put one. Okay, so one, so that's pretty good for them. Okay. This spicy boy again. Plop our URL in. Wow, I just saw a picture of myself. I look so bored. Come on, Sophie, wake up. I should smile more. Always tell me I should smile more. Okay, so we are going to look for microdata. It does not have microdata. So that means I don't need to check whether it's rudimentary or not because it's not there. Robots, not done correctly, which means it exists. Okay, so XML. XML does exist, yes. Favicon. Oh, there's a new energy all of a sudden, you guys. You see? All it takes is just to slap yourself in the face real quick, and you too can have the energy that I have. 2 broken links, okay. Oh, the government of Canada is a broken link? That's interesting. Okay. Alright, so that was fast to tear through dental implants clinic. Next. You know what, we're going to take a look at the blog. So for some of these, I know they have a blog. We know Art of Dentistry has a blog. We know Porcelain Veneers has a blog. I don't think we know if Dental Implant Clinic has a blog. Blogga, blogga, blogga. I don't know why I find that picture so funny. It's hilarious. Okay. No, it doesn't look like they have a blog. Or if they do, it's far too difficult for a user to find. Blogs are important. Blogs are obviously important. The more pages you have on your site, the better. The more frequently you update your site, the better. Great way to scratch both of those itches is by posting blog articles. Blog! There it is. So these guys have a blog. I don't know why I turned into a Muppet all of a sudden. Yes. And it's fairly active, it looks like. Yeah. Right, so something I forgot to check for, and now I have to do it twice. Learn from my mistakes, friends. It's not enough just to have a blog. Having a blog is better than not having a blog, but having a blog that you haven't posted anything to for 5 years is not that useful. And in this case, they have not posted to their blog in 5 years. In fact, it looks like when they launched their website, this happens, I see this sometimes. So what happens is, what the hell? That's weird. So their scroller is broken. But also, you see everything is posted on the same date. June 29th, June 29th, June 29th, December 8th, December 8th, December 8th. So basically what happened was somebody was inspired one day to write a whole bunch of blog articles, and then they posted a whole bunch of blog articles all on the same day. And there is no way that someone can keep up with that level of frequency if you're a small business. You can't post 4 articles a day for years on end. It's just not going to happen. So, pardon me, a better idea is to post 1 article a week and then maybe spend 1 day a month writing 4 articles, and then you post them once a week, and then you're able to gradually drip them out to your audience. So yes, inactive. And I know for a fact that Dr. Weiss is inconsistently inactive. Okay, so the only one who's doing a good job here is Pearl Dental Group. And they're not even doing a great job. It's just 1 article a month. Still not great. Okay. So do they have uncategorized blog articles? That's one I can just real quick get out of the way. Um, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Awful. Just awful. I don't know why I do voices like that. It's the only way I keep myself amused. I'm down here by myself, all by myself. And I'm just talking to myself the entire time, so it helps to have different voices, I guess. Okay, so let's come back to Screaming Frog for dental implants. Okay, so we're going to look at the title tags. And again, we want to make sure we're looking at the most relevant pages. So, wow, there's no title tag on their homepage. Interesting. These are okay. Yeah, I guess they're okay. I guess it's not terrible. Um, I'll give them a 60. Especially because the they're missing the title tag on their homepage. That's weird. Okay, meta description. They've got barely any meta descriptions, it looks like. It's okay. Wisdom tooth removal, that must be one. Okay. Um, so, okay. I'm going to give them a 20 because most of them are missing. Decent keywords targeting on the few they bothered to do. Okay, optimize H1, H2 tags. Next one. Okay, so this is just for blog articles. Implant innovations that have changed the industry. Um, is this a blog article or is it a? Let's take a look. Yeah, it's a blog article. Okay. Yeah, they're not. H1 tags are not bad. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give them maybe a 50. We'll just say decent short tail keyword targeting, but about half are missing. Actually, you know what? I gotta give them less than that. I gotta give them a 25 because I gave 40 to these guys who had decent short tail keyword targeting. Okay, average words length. Back to this stuff. Oh, they're not indexable. Okay. So what is his canonical homepage then? Oh, it's this. I see. Yeah, I didn't look at that. See, that's something I missed when I was looking at. I'm going to bump them up to 65 then. I thought he had no title tag for his homepage, but it turns out that these two are 301 redirects to his canonical homepage, so that's actually okay. Word count. For non-indexable pages is what I want. Or for indexable pages. For not non-indexable pages. I'll give you an aneurysm thinking about that one. Average is 952. We'll say 953. There's no such thing as 0.5 words. And that's quite good. That's the best so far, for sure. Okay, and average links per page is the last thing we need to do for that. Looks like we're going to be served up with the number 78. Yeah, looks like 78. Okay. Again, it's almost certainly not the case that every single one of those pages has exactly 78 links going to it. That would be very weird if that were the case. But these things are notoriously unreliable, and we use them only as a general benchmark. Okay, Pro Dental Group. We're almost done with Screaming Frog, which is great because it's my least favorite tool to use. No disrespect to the Screaming Frog folks, but parsing the information out of it is just tedious, I find. And I'd rather do some of the other ones. I find the other ones to be more interesting. Okay. We're done. Okay. Number of pages indexed are 39. 39, that's it. Wow. Tiny little site. Pages indexed that shouldn't be. It's got good pages on the index, so that's good. Okay, so we're good. We're good. 0, so 39. Now let's hit GT metrics. This one I find to be my favorite tool, in fact. I find page load speed to be interesting. So we'll check that, and we'll check this one at the same time. And did we get that? We did get it's mobile friendly. Have we checked that off? Yes, cool. All right, we're getting toward the point where we can actually wrap this up, which is good because I'm hungry. The things I do to slave away for you folks, just so you can get a full analysis all in one shot. All right, so we're waiting. Okay, so largest contentful page 10.8, 14.2. My lord. 10.8 plus 14.2 equals that's 12 and a half. So everyone is awful. Images properly scaled. Let's see what the problems are. No. 33.8 plus 53, 86 point, it's about 88. requests. What do we have for external requests? 41, 51, 57. Okay, that's a lot. Is the code minified? It usually is. Oh boy, no. 100 kilobyte improvement possible. Yeah. And are you accelerated mobile pages? Okay, we're done with you. Goodbye. AMP test, not an AMP page. No. Schema. Open up our schema scanner one last time. Okay, so we'll wait for. Oh no, that's not what we were looking for. Okay, so we'll let that do its thing. In the meantime, how are we doing for our broken link checker? 43 web pages and 0. Does that jive? 39 it found. That. No broken links and no 404 errors that I found. We have a custom 404 page. This can tell us that is not using a custom 404 page. No. Okay. Schema markup. We are using microdata, which means I'm going to have to search to see if the microdata is substantial. I'd be surprised if it was, considering what I've seen on the site so far, but I've been surprised before. Not a lot. There are errors, but that's not a big deal because schema is kind of finicky, so errors do pop up every once in a while. It's not necessarily a sign that someone's terrible. Schema's pretty new. Most people are not great at developing it yet. So yeah, there's rudimentary as well. And we'll go to robots. Same thing. Yes, no. XML. Yes. And we want our favicon, our Google Analytics. Yes. Okay, so yes, yes, yes. And then there was one I noticed blank, custom 404 page for dental implants clinic. So I'm going to take a look at that. Slash, and we'll see, they do have a custom 404 page. Okay, so that is the end of our technical analysis. Okay, so a lot of weakness here, a lot of weakness. Across the board, really. So let's go back to Pearl Dental, and we'll take a look at, we're going to look at, oh boy, I need to do some yoga or something. Our title tags are not bad. We're seeing dental implants, teeth whitening, Toronto, cosmetic dental bonding, Pearl Dental, well, that's not a keyword. Dentist in North York is one. North York is a neighborhood. It's part of the Greater Toronto Area. I included it in that search we originally did. Emergency Dental Toronto, sure. Crowns and Bridges, Toronto Dentist, yeah. These are pretty good. Generally speaking, it's difficult to put long tail keywords in your title tags because there's not much room. So I'm going to give them a 90% because that's pretty damn good. Let's take a look at our meta descriptions. And as always, we're going to check for duplicates. There's a couple. Not that many pages in general. Zoom whitening, dental implants, filling safe, white fillings. Children's top-rated cosmetic dentistry offers high-quality cosmetic procedures. Not bad, but not as good. I'm gonna say 70. Okay, and then our H1, H2s. Dental Toronto. The top H1 is the most important spot. Not to say that your H2s are also not important. Length. People don't usually use two H1s. It happens, but it's rare. It's most important to get your keywords in your H1, in your first H1. And your H2s are important as well, but less important. This one closer as well, just so I don't have to look at these. The superfluous information that we don't care about. These are okay. Whitening, porcelain veneers. These are actually pretty good. Crescent ridges. There are some missed opportunities, like visit our office. Like, dude, don't scream at me. But it's you always have to remember there's a delicate balance between SEO and usability. And so sometimes, if you've already gotten the person to your website, having that call to action for them to visit your office is a great way to close new business. But I'm seeing gum disease therapy, family dentistry, North York dentist, dental veneers. I'm seeing a lot of keywords here. So I'm going to give them an 80. Average words per page. Let's take a look at that. Count. Russian again. I do not know. Average is 837. On the lower end of acceptable. There's one tool we actually haven't even opened yet. So we're going to get to that as well. Pearl Dental Group. Unique links coming in. Let's see. 42. 42, 42, 42. Okay. 42 it is. And now it looks like we're done with Screaming Frog, I think. We might have to open it again. I may prove myself wrong. But we're wrapping it up. Starting to wrap it up. Okay. Are we done? Yeah, we're done with technical. We're almost done with on-site. The one thing we haven't looked at yet is SiteLiner. And this is a key one as well, because we've talked about duplicate content a couple times already. And Firefox is frozen, that's okay. Yeah, we've talked about duplicate content a couple times already. And what this tool does is it scans a website to find duplicate content. Actually, I need everybody, but we'll start with them. So, So yeah, duplicate content does create problems. It can hinder your search rankings. Now we know Google knows that sometimes you repeat content, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, so, for example, if you have a call to action at the end of each of your pages, there's really no need to rewrite that every time. It's okay. Um, but you want to that's what they call common content. Content that is frequently shown on multiple pages, but they don't consider it duplicate. In fact, their duplicate content is only at 10%, and that's pretty good. Sometimes you just accidentally make duplicate content because you write the same sentence twice. And all of us professionals have sentences that we have kind of in our back pocket that we repeat every once in a while when someone asks a question. So that's okay. Obviously, the ideal is 0, but they're in pretty good shape actually. Um, Content was 28%. Unique content was 62%. Okay, dental implants. Let's check them out. What am I doing in the meantime? This is the last scan we have to do. Next one is just Google My Business and socials. Excuse me, everyone. I'll be right back. I'm back. Did you miss me? So what have we found in the meantime? 12% duplicate content. A little more, but it's still pretty good. Common content, we got 18%. Unique content is 70%. Okay. Now this is one that, yeah, that we were, oh, www versus non-www. 2 different pages. That ain't good. Are they different though? Oh yeah. Yeah, they're a little different. Okay, so maybe that's part of the reason why we're having such a hard time reading his site. Because if you recall, the broken link checker was not able to read the site properly either. Um, so we'll say not applicable, unfortunately. Could be part of the same problem. Okay, and then finally, dentistry. How are you doing? See, I took my sunglasses off so you can actually see my face. I feel a little better now, so that's good. Whether or not you care, I don't know. But I care because I feel better. And I like to feel better. Ooh, 45% duplicate content. That ain't good. It might not scan all of their pages. In fact, it often doesn't. And again, like if I was using this for a client's page to better understand what's going on with them, I would do a much more thorough scan. But because we're just doing a reconnaissance mission, it doesn't have to be as detailed as usual. Um, we're coming up with a decent amount of duplicate content here. It's not good. Um, page size is pretty slow, pretty low, which is good. Um, yeah, it scans 250 pages of the free version. Wow, 53% duplicate content. That's not good. Content 22%. Unique content 25%. Um, yeah, that's no good. That's definitely a problem. Okay, so this is the last little bit, is the offsite SEO analysis. Um, big chunk of this is Google My Business. Um, and I'm going to open up a clean Firefox browser. I'm going to go to maps.google.com, and we want to look for we want to look to see if our friends have Google My Business pages. Google Maps is one of the biggest search engines in the world. So um, there's a lot of search traffic on there. People will search things like dentist near me. If you recall, when we were going through the keywords, that's where we were at. Okay, so art of dentistry is, um, first of all, it exists, and it looks like it's been claimed. So do yes, uh, NAP plus W, that means name, address, phone number plus website. And not only does it have to be complete, it's got to be the same as what's on the actual website. 25 Bel Street, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, 927-7677. Great, okay. So, yes, yes. Business hours match the website. Semi-closed. Monday 9 to 6. Tuesday 8 to 7. Wednesday 8 to 5. Thursday 8 to 7. Friday 8 to 1. Oh, no. Okay. Saturday 9 to 3. Friday 8 to 1. Friday 8 to 3. No. Okay, photos added. See how many photos we've got. The more photos, the better. Is that a shower? Looks like a shower. 36, 35, 35. Google Posts used. I doubt it. People don't usually take advantage of Google Posts. It's a posting option you can do from within. From within Google My Business. Most people don't use it. Most people don't know it exists. There's a little tip. Use Google Posts. Not a bad idea. Number of reviews, 45 and 4.9. Okay. Check out porcelain veneers. Dr. Ed Phillips, cosmetic dentist. Not claimed. Huh. Okay. No, not claimed. NEP. Wait. This is a different URL altogether, so maybe it's a different site. No, it's the same guy. He's just got two different websites. So if we do porcelain veneers, he does not have a Google My Business page. Yeah, he just does not have a Google My Business page. There is a map on the page, on the site. What does he? Is this? Can we take a look? He's got some issues. Map listing. Okay, so he does have a page. Two different websites. Okay, NAPW. So, 5976453. No. 5976453. Yep, okay. Yes. Yes. There's always match website. Do we even have business hours? This is a strange website. No, we don't have business hours listed on the site. Photos added, okay. It looks like none. 0. Google Posts used, certainly not. Oh wait, nope, shit, I'm looking at the wrong one. that power pose. 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 34, 34. Google Post used, no. No Google Posts. And we've got 27 reviews. And a total of 4.7. Okay. While I'm at this, I may as well fill in these others. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. So obviously we would like to see that these pages exist, but it's also helpful for these pages to be fairly regularly updated. Oh, would you guys off? I'm not logged in for a reason. Yeah, so we have it, but hasn't been updated in 4 years. So yes, inactive. So having it is not better than not having it. Having it active is better than having it inactive. Twitter. Again, yes, inactive. Instagram. Do we have Instagram? I don't think I saw it. No, there's no Instagram. No. YouTube. We do have a YouTube. And nothing has been uploaded in 9 years. Okay, so yes, inactive. Last video uploaded 9 years ago. Links in video. Oh my god, look at that title. That is an abomination if I ever saw one. That's not good. That's bad. Okay, so no links. So that's useless. For that villa, anyway. Okay. Wait. My bad. All that goes here. Okay. So we're done with you, Dr. Phillips. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. And we want to go to and let's see, Facebook, Google Plus. We talked about this before, I think. Google Plus is not a thing anymore. It has not existed for more than a year. So the fact that it is there means somebody's not giving this website the love it deserves. So if you have a Google Plus link on your website, you should get rid of it. No, I don't want to log in. Decently active, not super active, but decently active. Definitely don't want to get anyone at his clinic in trouble. You should be more active on social media. Yeah, no Twitter. Instagram we do have. We've already opened it. And it's pretty popular. YouTube. I did not see a YouTube. Did you? Yeah, no YouTube. No. Not applicable. Not applicable. Why do I care more about YouTube than the others? I've got more questions for YouTube. Google owns YouTube. So that, Google wants you to use its own properties, because the more properties, the more time you spend on Google properties, the more they can sell ad space, and the more money they make. So makes sense, right? Um, so go right up to Weiss. Okay, so it has been claimed, it looks like. So we'll say yes. NAPW complete. Uh, 113 Bond Street. Come on. Oh, wait, no, that's the problem. 113 Bond Street, M5B1YW. Yep. 5852663. Yes. Yes. Business hours match. Monday, 10 to 5. 6. Okay. So we can already say no, the business hours don't match. And I'm not going to give the specifics because, like, for Dr. Weiss, I give him the specifics because then he can go and fix it himself if he wants. But for the other ones, he's not going to fix them. So it's enough to know that the errors exist. Okay. So, photos. No, that's not. 14. Posts used. I didn't see any. It's actually so rare that I see one of these that uses Google Posts that I don't even remember where on the page it exists. Number of reviews 75. And got 4.7. So we know that Google considers both the number of reviews and the number, the star rating. So when we're looking at these, like Dr. Weiss has 45 reviews and a 4.9 star rating. Dental Implants Clinic has 75 reviews with a 4.7 star rating. Which one is better? We don't actually know. We just know that Google considers both of them, so it's a good idea to have both of them ranked as well as possible. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So we'll say no. We're so close to being done, everybody. Are we active on Facebook? No, don't want to. Okay, haven't, no. Yes, inactive. On Twitter? Yes, inactive. I wonder who follows local dental clinics on Twitter. Or local businesses in general. Like, who would follow a plumber on Twitter or on Instagram? I don't get it. Okay, so Bond Street Dental, they're fairly active on there. When was their last post? We'll say they're active because they have a decent number of followers. Okay, we're at the end now. So, come back here, close, 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 close. And now we're looking for Pearl Dental Group. They exist. Menu. Where is the menu going to take us? Okay, it just takes them to their website. That's I don't know about you, but I don't go to my dentist to get meals. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. 261. There's another Google Plus link. Is that Rate MDs? Yeah, it is. Yeah, another Google Plus link. Not good, y'all. You guys are neglecting your websites. 61 Finch. Toronto. MQR1H. Yes. Yeah. Okay, great. So we say it's claimed, yeah? Yeah, it's claimed. Yes, yes, yes. Is that that's the website? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, so Thursday 10 to 8, Friday 10 to 8, Saturday and Sunday 10 to 8. So every day is 10 to 8. Okay, so yes. Great. Photos added. Let's see. This is one, yeah. Looks like something out of a horror movie. 20, 21, 22, lots of them. $62. Okay, Google Posts used. Have we used Google Posts? No, we have not. No, we got 54 reviews and a 4.9 star rating. Nice. Socials, we've got Facebook and Instagram. So let's say Twitter, no. And then YouTube is no. You could go search YouTube for the. You could go search YouTube for the channel. Why don't you do that? Because it's not linked from their website. It's not linked from their website. It's clearly a sign that they're doing something pretty sloppy. That's the important part for me. I'm gonna have to deal with this Facebook pop-up. Okay, haven't updated in. Oh no, okay. Yeah, they are active. Oops. Yes, active. Instagram. Yes, and active as well. Seems like Instagram is the spot for cosmetic dentists. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so that was a lot. I know everybody is a lot to go through. Those of you who have stuck with me through the whole time, you are champions. So this is the analysis for the cosmetic dentistry scene here in Toronto. A lot of strong competition, but like they're vying for the top spots quite heavily, but no one's doing a terribly good job. So there's a lot of opportunity here. I'm looking forward to showing this to my client. Anyway, if you found this interesting, please feel free to subscribe to our channel for sure. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. And you can also follow us on Instagram. You can also follow me personally on Instagram. And I do these sporadically, but my main goal with them is just to help all of you better understand SEO and kind of demystify a lot of this stuff. So please feel free to reach out. I'm going to put my info in the doobly-doo below, so you can reach out. And I hope you all have a